Hi, I'm Brian Preston, Director of the Dubuque County Conservation Department, and welcome to Dubuque. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Dubuque County Conservation Department and what we have to offer for our outdoor recreation and natural resources in the Dubuque area. So I work for the Dubuque County Conservation Board, and we oversee about 20 different areas in Dubuque County. And so currently we manage almost 3,000 acres of land, 8 campgrounds, the 30-mile long Heritage Trail, a golf course, a 9-hole golf course, 4 Mississippi River accesses, and lots of other educational or outdoor recreation opportunities. And these are a list of the areas that we currently manage. We have 20 areas that you can choose from and go out and pursue your interests. This is a map of all our Dubuque County areas. You can see they're spread all throughout the Dubuque County area. But we are really lucky to live in the area that we do. We live in what's called the Driftless Region, and this area was missed by the most recent glaciation. So our hills and valleys have had lots, thousands of more years for that water to erode and carve out these really unique and picturesque landscapes. We have limestone that is exposed in a lot of this area and provides spectacular views along the Mississippi River. This is a winter shot of the Swiss Valley Nature Preserve, and this is where our environmental education program is headquartered. So our mission is to get kids outside and appreciate our natural resources, be active, develop those healthy lifestyles. I know this makes some parents cringe, but it's not a natural thing to be afraid of snakes, so we try to introduce them to things that they may otherwise be uncomfortable with, and some we're very comfortable with. The monarch butterfly is a popular program we have in September where we actually participate with the University of Kansas Monarch Watch, and we put stickers on butterflies, monarch butterflies specifically because they're the only butterfly that migrates. They migrate into southern Mexico from this region. That single butterfly will make it all the way down into Mexico and overwinter there. It will lay its eggs and die, and the migration will start back up north. It takes 5 or 6 generations for the next monarch butterfly to get back up here to Iowa. So it's pretty spectacular that that butterfly can make such a long journey with so many hazards in its way. We also bring in speakers. This is Mike Havlick. He's a naturalist with the Dallas County Conservation Board, and we can bring in other resources. He does a great program on owls, and among many other programs. So one of the programs that we bring Mike up a lot for is the Bald Eagle Watch. Watch for that every January. It's usually about the 2nd January at the Grand River Center. So it's a chance for people to come out, actually see a live bald eagle, to hear presentations about different raptors, hawks, owls, ospreys that live in this area. There's lots of things available to our visitors, and these are all free. So we have park packs. So we have 15 different park packs that are available. You can check those out, take them home. They're great for kids and adults. We have subjects such as birds, trees, wilderness survival, weather, and each one there's different activities, games. In the bird one, there's a recorder or a audio player that you can actually hear the calls of the birds and learn to identify birds by not just their sight, but their sound. Some birds are really hard to see way up in the top of the tree, but if you can hear them and identify that song, you can identify those birds. And we also have geocache. I was not familiar at all with geocaching, but it's a recent trend in our areas, and we have probably around 200 to 300 geocaches at any time throughout our park. So you can check out a GPS device, and those geocaches are loaded in there, and you can go out. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Go out and navigate with these GPS units and try to find the caches that are hidden throughout the park. So a pretty great fun activity for kids, and it's a great way to trick kids into going out into nature and combining a little technology with it. But what's really unique about the Swiss Valley Nature Preserve is the trout stream. This is Catfish Creek, and up in Swiss Valley Nature Preserve, it's a cold water trout stream, and it dumps into the Mississippi River down right below Julian Dubuque's monument in the Mines of Spain, where it looks much different. But up here, there's thousands of tiny little springs that seep out of the hillside, and that water is really important for the trout. So We have what's called karst topography in this driftless region of northeast Iowa, southwest Wisconsin, and southeastern Minnesota, where the limestone is cracked and that water can make its way down through those cracks and recharge our groundwater, and that seeps out of the hillside at about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That temperature is really important for trout because trout can only survive with high oxygen levels, and the colder water is, the more oxygen it holds. There is natural reproduction of the trout in our stream, but it is also stocked once a week by the Iowa Department of Natural Resources from early April through Thanksgiving. We've done a lot of work on the stream to provide additional habitat for trout, and you can see on the side here we had pulled back the stream bank. It was a straight up and down bank, and we put what's called Loon Hides. These are oak platforms, 8 foot long and 3 foot wide, that get buried underneath the side of the stream bank. There's boulders that hold it down and hold the soil in place above it. But trout love overhead protection. They're really afraid of overhead predators like great blue herons, otters, things like that like to eat fish. So they'll hide under those banks. So if you see riprap, big, large boulders lined along the shoreline, that's probably a good place to fish for trout. There's lots of other opportunities out at Swiss Valley as well. Hiking, you can always count on seeing wildlife out along the trails, like the white-tailed deer. And in the springtime each year, we do something pretty unique. So as the frost is going out of the ground and the tops of the trees warm, it starts to pull sap up from the ground that's stored, and it's high in sugar. So we tap sugar maple trees, and we have volunteers and school groups and scout groups come out and help us collect the sap, and we have an evaporator back at the Nature Center where we gather the sap and boil it down and make maple syrup. It takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup, and each spring we have a pancake breakfast that our friends sponsor. They utilize that maple syrup, and it's a fundraiser for providing some of these fun things like the park packs, those GPS units out at our Nature Center. They have also, our friends group have purchased snowshoes. So if you're able to get out into the wintertime, we have snowshoes that you can check out and use at the Nature Preserve for free. There's also hot chocolate all winter long after you get done with your snowshoeing adventure. I encourage you, if you want to reach out to us and have any questions about the areas, what you can and can't do, where to go hunting, where to go fishing, we are more than happy to give you any of that information if you contact our office at 563-556-6745. We also have a website at dubuquecounty.org. That's all Dubuque County all spelled out .org. And you can also find us on Facebook at the Swiss Valley Nature Center and the Heritage Trail Facebook page. So look forward to having you out and visiting our areas, and let me know if you have any questions. We'd be happy to help you out.